What's going on, everyone? Today, just gonna bullshit while I drive home from getting my ass beat in judo once again. And this is really just a test to see if I can get this camera working and the microphone working to do some more like solo casts or stuff while we're driving, because we're driving a lot. We're trying to get more content out, but sometimes we don't have time to sit down and to film the podcast. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna start talking about some of the competitions I've done lately. We're late September, about to be October. I competed last weekend at Hollywood Judo Club in a Shiai, which is like a friendly tournament / match with other people. And I went against an adult black belt who's a competitor. I don't know where on the world level he is, but he's a competitor. He's out there doing the thing, you know, maybe trying to make the national team or whatever he's doing. But to me, he felt pretty good. He flowed really well. We had 3 matches, and spoiler alert, he beat me in all 3 of them. But I had some moments that were good in 2 of the fights. One of the fights he just blew me out. So it was pretty cool. I went out to, we'll take a step back actually. So our friend Juan, Sensei Juan, who's a friend of the podcast, I went out and trained with Juan maybe about a month ago on a Friday, and he asked me if I wanted to compete in a Shiai at Hollywood Judo Club. And for the best of my understanding, these Shiais are just like friendly competitions, and they're within a couple schools. It's kind of like an in-house tournament in Jiu-Jitsu, but it was Hollywood Judo, Goltz Judo, and Sawtell Judo. And my Sensei James and Sensei Juan are both kind of under the Goltz flag right now. James has been promoted all the way up through his 4th Dan with Goltz Judo. Juan gets his rankings and was promoted in Japan at the Kodokan. But you know, they're all, when he came to the U.S., he was training with Goltz. I think that's how it goes. That's how he's a part of this Goltz kind of association thing out here. If you want to learn more about that, maybe we can talk about Gary. Maybe I can get Gary on here. Gary is a red belt in judo. He's like the father of judo in Southern California, to make it easy to understand. Seems like a pretty cool guy. I got to meet him. But I flew his flag when I competed the other day at Hollywood Judo. Well, I flew James's flag, but you know, it's under Goltz. That's how we got the invite. So we go out to Hollywood at Hollywood Judo. It's pretty cool. It's a very old club, which is really, really cool. It feels like there's a lot of history when you walk in there. There's like a little complex that they have their club at. And I think the original building in the complex, I think I saw a picture that said it was from like 1926 is when they started that club, or maybe even earlier. But they started that club a long time ago. I think it's been running concurrently ever since they started it. And it's a cool facility. It's not very big. They do have floating mats, which is cool, but you walk in there, it just feels like a lot of history. They have all these pictures from the competitors and the senseis over the years there, and the students there, and they have the years and like what happened there. And I have a picture of it, maybe I can insert it in this video, but they had these really old like hand-painted signs up on the wall, and they were, I think, basically all the throws that are in the original Kodokan system up on the wall, which I thought was really cool, because it gives you like, it just shows you what's possible in judo, even at that entry level of the basic 80 throws. I think there is, not even basic level, but it tells you the 80 throws versus like in jiu-jitsu. Judo, there's an infinite amount of things too, but in jiu-jitsu, there's literally an infinite amount of things. And if you're from an old school gym like I am, they don't even use the names. It's just a choke, or it's just a lock. It's just whatever. They don't specifically talk about this is Osoto Gake or Koichimaki or all these, you know, all Maki Komi, all these names. I can't even remember. There's so many names I can't remember, but they have the names of all the throws in there. I thought was really cool. And a lot of the history within the building there, I thought was also really cool. And it seemed like they had a pretty good club. But back to the matches. So all the matches were kind of entry level, like my actual level of judo, like very low level judo. Like it was all white belts and like lower belts. I think the highest belt was a green belt, except for the kid I had to face. He was a younger adult level competitor. And the first match I went out there and trying to do all the things that Sensei James tells me, that Sensei Juan tells me. trying to do all those things while you're trying to fight another person is not easy, but it's trying to mentally work through them. And as soon as I grabbed my grips on this kid, he fucking threw me with Uchimata. Super quick. It didn't feel like the biggest Uchimata in the world, and I didn't feel like I even landed very hard, but they called Ippon, the match was over, and it was like 8 seconds or whatever. And there was a whole bunch of fights on this in this Shiai, so I had to wait like another maybe 30 minutes to fight again. Then I fought again, and this time Juan told me some things, James told me some things, and I adjusted my game. And he was trying to throw me, and he couldn't throw me, and then he ended up getting a Wazari, which is like a half point, so he got like a half a throw on me. And in the transition, I'm sure we could watch it, I could find the clip, it felt like me, like we transitioned, rolled, and I ankle picked him. I think I really had his thigh, and I drove into his thigh, and I kind of took him down, which is legal in judo for that. Off of those series of movements, that's a legal takedown. And then he went to his stomach, which is a thing in judo to stop you from getting pinned. And I tried to roll him over, and I couldn't. I don't know the good techniques on rolling over. The techniques I knew didn't work. So finally, I knew they were going to stop it. They were going to stand us back up. So I jump on his back, and I start to choke him. And I couldn't get a really deep choke with my right hand. So I pushed my right hand as far as I could, and I was able to grab my other sleeve, and I started to hit Ezekiel. But if you train with me, you know my Ezekiel's not like the standard knife hand Ezekiel. I do like more of a punching choke Ezekiel. I do this kind of motion, or I drive my hand into the side of your neck. And I was starting to set that up, and they called Mate, and we stood back up. And then homeboy was not fucking having it. Hit me with this weird version of Kataguruma, the fireman's carry, and fucking jumped backwards and just blasted me. My ribs are still a little bit sore from it, but it was fun. I thought they were really fun matches. I had a lot of fun, those two. The third match, trying to think of what happened. The third match, I think he got another half throw, and then I started to the same kind of movement. I came up on his leg and started to dive into him to take him down, and then he rolled me over, and then I rolled him over, and I had the ankle pick again, like if you're doing wrestling, like if you're escaping a throw and someone's got your leg and you're running away. He was in the running away position, and I kind of had his leg. But in the transition of the two rolls, when I rolled him and he rolled me, they called Mate, so we stood back up right after that, and then he threw me with something pretty quick again. But it was a really cool experience to go with another high-level person, younger, just to get the grips. The grips are different. The pace, I'm learning the pace is so much different. Like in jiu-jitsu, I have a very grinding style. I do like a wrestling, jiu-jitsu, judo kind of thing standing up. I like to hit arm drags. I've been recently hitting the Russian that Gabe showed me a couple years ago. And I've been doing these variations of the thing, but my main goal in all of these stand-up transitions or these stand-up positions is to pin the arm down to their waist so I can interlace it with my arm and drive all my weight onto their shoulder. Sometimes I pull from the other side, but when I do this, it makes people drop their shoulders and a lot of time drop to the knees or pull like a bad version of guard or try to hit something from there. And I have a lot of luck even on guys my size with that style of takedowns. For me, it's very low energy. I don't have to use a lot of energy to get it. And it's pretty high percentage for me standing up. It's probably about 50%. If I can get to people in that position, I can usually bully them to the ground. But that might take me a minute or a minute and a half or 2 minutes to get into that position, bully them to the ground, and then start my newaza, start my ground game, my jiu-jitsu from there. But in judo, you don't have that time. In judo, it's like they're hitting you with Shidos in a couple seconds, which I don't know why I get worried about Shidos. I don't care so much, but I want to be first to move, and I want to start trying to attack is the idea, is trying to attack. Sensei James and I were talking about that on the way home, about trying to attack more. And my problem, I think Sensei James is right, we just talked about this, is I'm trying to do technical throws because I want to be good. I don't want to be this spazzy lower belt that I am. I want to be good. I want to hit technical throws. I want to do this to the best of my ability so that I feel good about it, so I don't get hurt, and then so my senseis feel good about what we're doing out there. I think a win is more important, but you want to progress as a martial artist. Like I'm at the level where I'm at in jiu-jitsu where I'm trying to lay off of my good game and trying to work on the holes in it. Well, I'm in that same place in judo where it's like I'm just trying to learn the sport. I'm trying to learn the throws and the body positions, and I'm not a very athletic person. I have back issues which make me very stiff. My back has been pretty good the last couple years, but I'm very stiff, and I'm trying to get past that stiffness so I can open up more throws. And that brings me to today. Well, Sensei James told me he thinks I'm trying to hit these technical throws where I should be attacking. And in jiu-jitsu, we would say you're spazzing out, which I don't want to spaz out, but I do kind of want to spam throws. I need to spam like a Sasai to Dayashi to a Soto to something to get someone moving so I can open up the throws I like. But right now, I feel very uncomfortable throwing in general. I'm trying to work on it. I can hit Osoto when I really get the placement. I have a pretty decent Sasai off of a drag, and I really like Uchimata, but my Uchimata is really low level. I'm trying to expand the game, right? But I'm trying to expand them so much that I'm stopping myself from just throwing the technique out there. And I think I could get more throws if I just throw the technique out there. So let's go to today. So today, maybe a week or two ago, I signed up for, this is a Nanka tournament. This would be like the same level as like a NABF or like a Naga kind of event, a smaller event at a high school in Orange County, which it's pretty big for judo. I think it's a decent event for judo, but for jiu-jitsu, it's a very small event, closer to like the smaller events, not a World League, not an IBJJF. So I signed up and there was no one in my division, but I signed up so that I could fight anybody, which I'm glad I didn't end up having to fight a black belt today because, man, I saw these adult black belts blasting each other. I saw some big throws this morning, which I'm glad I didn't have to fight any of those. So I get another yellow, orange, green belt level person there, and we tie up. This guy was older too. I think he's in his mid-50s. We just started following each other on Instagram. Felt very strong, but we tie up, and he hit me with like a pretty sloppy drop sail, no offense, but a sloppy drop sail, and I went over, and he took me down, but I was trying to pull my arm out because he had my arm stuck. And I'm trying to get my arm out, and I'm trying to collect the half guard, so they call Mate, so we stand back up, but they called me for a pin, which, fine, it's okay. I wasn't pinned. My back wasn't even on the ground. I was up on my side. One of my shoulders was down. I don't think that counts as a pin, but we got counted as a pin. Whatever, it is what it is. We were going to have 3 fights because there was just 2 of us, best out of 3. And I went out there the second time more aggressive and tried to do what my coach told me, my sensei told me. And I went out there more aggressive, and I started trying to adjust his grips in order to break them and move. And in this motion of grabbing grips and moving, and he got a dominant grip, this dude felt very strong. Grabbing grips and moving, I grabbed inside of his armpit and I lifted, and I think I got him to change the grip. And as soon as I would have to watch it, but I felt like as soon as that happened, I changed the grips. I felt comfortable. Dude dropped back and hit me with the balloon sweep. I posted. Luckily, I didn't get hurt. But I posted to try to push myself back on top, but he ended up getting me over. And the second time, he legitimately pinned me. And it was a good pin. It was probably I felt very, very stuck. I don't feel that stuck that often. Higher level guys in jiu-jitsu make me feel that stuck. Guys that got crazy pressure make me feel that stuck. But even a lot of times, even guys my weight and size, I'm able to wiggle out and get to a position where at least this guy had me stuck. He had me like stuck, pinched on my hip with his knee and across my body, and like I can't remember what they called side control in judo. It's something juji, and he had me juji katami or something like that. He had me pinned, and it was okay. And then, afterwards, I shook his hand or whatever, and we walked off. And I'm trying to learn the rules of the etiquette of walking on and off the mat, which is different from judo, or different from jiu-jitsu, which all my experience comes from. The way you bow is a certain way to bow. Like, we don't clap our sides. You probably can't see it, but you don't clap your sides like we do in jiu-jitsu because we're all a bunch of children. There's a lot more etiquette in judo, which I love. It's jiu-jitsu is most definitely a martial art, but judo really keeps the art portion of martial arts. It is a combat sport, but also it's an art, and they keep that art alive. And judo is a Japanese sport, jiu-jitsu is too, but we most of us practice what we call Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which is another system off of judo, which we could talk about that. I could go into depth about how everything is judo and how everything is not judo. I can go in both directions, and I feel comfortable with that. But in judo still, this is very much an art, and they want to preserve that. And in Japan, if you've ever experienced anything in their culture, they have something called Kaizen, which is constant improvement or always getting better. And from what I understand, obviously I've never been to Japan, I've never lived there, but from what I've studied a lot of Japanese things throughout my life. I've always liked the Japanese arts. In different portions of my life, I did things the Japanese way. We could talk about that another way, but they have this idea of Kaizen, which is always get better, or I think Kaizen directly translates to like continuous improvements, how we say it, how we would use that term. But the idea of Kaizen is that you become the best at what you do no matter what it is. If your job is street sweeping, you're the best at it. If you're sword making, you're the best at it. And that for me is what I'm trying to strive for, is to get better and to do better things. And I lost my train of thought of where I was going with Kaizen, but anyway. So after the match, about the martial and the arts, and to be the best you can be. That's where I got Kaizen from. But anyway, I go up to the guy afterwards because we're waiting. There's only 2 of us, so I got a medal, another fucking participation trophy to fucking file in the trash can that I don't give a fuck about. But I was talking to the guy I fought afterwards. Super nice dude. We shook hands, and I don't remember how it came. Oh, I was like, man, I felt really, really pinned when you pinned me, and that was good. Like, man, I felt fucking pinned. This dude was like an ox too, but I felt pinned. And he's like, yeah, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time, so like I'm good at pinning. And I was like, oh, that's cool. How long you've been doing jiu-jitsu for? And he was like, 30 years. I was like, what? Are you a black belt? And he was like, yeah, I've been a black belt for like 20 something years, I think he said. So I'm still the fucking black belt hunter. What's up, dog? But anyway, so even in that, I keep having to fight these fucking upper levels. I would love to fight someone my level, but I guess it's kind of unfair for me too, because I have so much grappling experience before judo that should, even though it's a different art in the stand-up, the newaza all comes from judo. Jiu-jitsu is judo. It's just we don't focus on the throws. We emphasize the newaza, the groundwork. The jiu-jitsu, that's what we focus on. And in judo, it's the other way, right? We focus on the standing. But I would love to go against another orange belt who's got some experience grappling, and to see where I'm at. Because even in the gym, dude, I'm getting fucking beat up. We got dudes in the gym. I think where I train at now, most everybody trains jiu-jitsu, and everybody's pretty proficient in standing up, which I love. I mean, I love this sport. I don't think I'll ever stop doing judo. Like I'm riding this judo thing until I can't do it anymore. Until physically I can't do it. Like I'm trying to change my life. Like right now, I'm fucking doing some bad shit. I'm drinking a soda and eating some creepy crawlers, but I'm trying to lick my wounds a little bit. Feel like I deserved it. I woke up early as fuck, drove out to Orange County, and got my ass beat. But I'm trying to get my diet in order. I'm trying to be a little bit more physical. I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. I'm trying to be less of an old man and more better on my feet to get better at jiu-jitsu and judo, to get better at grappling. And it's just a journey, and I'm going to continue to grapple until I can't anymore. I think that's a big thing. I think my life has gotten better since I started training. I think my wife feels the same way. She trains as well. That our lives have gotten better. We've gained a community of people that I never would have met if I didn't start grappling. And then again, through grappling, I met my sensei James, and he's a fucking dude that you want to ride for. And that's the goal, is to get better, that you make everyone else want to feel good about putting their time into you, so that you can do that for the next generation. Like I don't care about being a world champion. To be honest, I don't even know if I really like competing. I go out there and I compete quite often. I think this year I'm probably like at 8 or 10 tournaments. That'd be my guess, maybe 7, somewhere around there. And I've done okay at them. I'm not good competing, and I don't know what it is yet, but I feel like I'm on the level of everybody I compete with, but I get so focused on wanting to do the right things to win that I abandon my actual game. And I think that's a problem. In judo, it's a little bit easier to say that's a problem because I can't do a lot of the stuff I want to do. It's stalling and it's not legal. But I need to bring that aggression in the game, or that style of like the grind I have and that amount of pressure in the game. I think just to modify it a little bit so I don't get thrown by pushing, which was a problem of mine. I saw that today as pushing. But I need to do that as I compete. And again, for me, the goal is not to be a world champion. Like, if I can get better at competing and win some stuff along the way, I'm very happy with that. But if I continue to lose, I'm going out there and I'm showing what I can do, and I'm proving that I'm at the level that I'm at. And granted, I don't win tournaments, but I haven't been smoked in a tournament, in a jiu-jitsu tournament, in over a year. And even at blue belt, I wasn't getting smoked. And I did get fucking destroyed. I won purple belt tournament. I got real fucked up. But purple belt has been my best belts competing. I've won the most matches. I've done the best. And besides that one tournament where I got smoked, I felt pretty good at purple belt. So I want to test the belts. To myself, competing is proving that you deserve your rank. And I think everybody kind of feels that way. Everybody feels the certain type of way where I'm an imposter. I was just talking about that with someone today. That imposter. I'm always yelling at him to, not yelling at him because whatever, but and put that other belt on because you deserve that rank. Someone else told you that's the rank you are. And I feel the same way. Like, I feel like sometimes, like, I feel pretty comfortable walking in anywhere with my purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Even in my orange belt in judo, I feel good about it. I'm where I should be. But everybody has that imposter syndrome. It's like no matter where you go, somebody's going to be better than you. And they could be a blue belt, or like, man, there's a kid at our school who's in his early 20s, he's a blue belt, he's a new blue belt, and dude, he fucking smokes me. He's better at judo than I am, he's better at jiu-jitsu than I am now, and he just destroys me. And you have to let go of the ego because he's 20 years younger than me almost. He's still got the stamina. I don't think he has any injuries, and he's out there ready to prove it. Where, like, I want to go out there for myself. I want to go out there to say that I was out there and I did the best that I could, or I did the best I could that day, or I did what I could do that day. Maybe not the best that I could be because I get in my head. I don't get in my head about competing. Competing doesn't bother me. I'll wake up, I'll go compete right now. I don't give a fuck. Competing does not scare me. But wanting to win and not wanting to make mistakes is where my game gets shut down, and I shut my own game down. I want to win so bad, I get in my head about winning, not about... It's hard to say I'm afraid to compete because I'm not afraid to compete. Like, I've talked about this, and we could talk about it another time, but I've been in situations where competition mattered. And we're not in that... I'm 40 years old. It doesn't matter when I go on the mats if I win or lose. The goal is to not get hurt where I can go to work the next day, right? But I get so in my head, if I get a good position, I'm like, fuck, this is a good position. I need to advance. I need to do this to really win this match. And then you get stuck or you get swept or something happens. And that's what I need to get on. I need to learn how to attack more and be more willing to do more to get more out of it. I don't know if that makes sense, but like in the gym, I'm not really afraid to let go of my top half guard and try to smash through a position or stand up or move. But I don't want to do that in a tournament because I don't want to get swept or thrown over because I don't want to lose the position I have. But I personally feel so comfortable in the half guard, I should just be able to stay there and get out. And that's what I need to work on. It's like, hey, if I'm on top and you're beating me, or I'm beating you, and I mess up and I get out of position and I get swept, that's okay. I play half guard most of the time. Why can I not just play half guard and try to get up on a sweep and win, right? But I'm so focused on trying to win and wanting to win because I want to show the people that have put their time into me that I'm worth it, or that their time was well spent, or that I'm really the rank that I am. And in judo, I'm such a low rank, it doesn't matter. Everything's a white belt till you're a black belt, I think. But in jiu-jitsu, the belts have a little bit more weight just because the way the system works. And I don't want my professor to regret giving me the belt that I have, or to regret giving me the rank I have. And like I said, winning or losing doesn't really matter to me. I want to get better at the idea of competition because I think it will help you grow in all things in life. You have to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. And I feel like I'm getting there, and I just need... In jiu-jitsu, I'm comfortable just about anywhere. Again, I don't want to lose, but in judo, I'm very uncomfortable standing up. I don't know what it is. I'm just so uncomfortable standing up that I don't want to get thrown huge. And that's probably half of the fear of getting thrown, and then half of the fear of just losing. You have to put those things together, or you don't and just stop competing. But I want to compete. I want to go out there and do what I can. And also, like, I'm not looking to inspire people, but I want to let people know that everybody can compete. Maybe some people shouldn't because they can't defend themselves well enough yet. But you should go out there and see what it's like to have someone else want to take something from you. And I don't think anybody out there is malicious, but people want to win. That's why they go out there. Everybody wants to win, so they're willing to take that win from you. And that's where I need to step up to. I don't have that aggression that I used to have. And in jiu-jitsu, even in the gym, I'm better if you tap me, or I'm better if you're beating a position and I can sweep you, because I'm able to turn it up. I'm able to get more aggressive. But if it's just me winning, I'm not very aggressive. Or if we're just standing up, or we're just stuck in a position, I'm not very aggressive. But if you start to win a position and I get out of it, that's where I'm ready to go. And in judo, you don't have time for that. At least not my style where I'm at right now. I can't spam 30 throws to get to a position. I got 1 or 2 movements to get to a throw up before I fucking throw up because I can't breathe. So I gotta work on everything, but that's what I need to do. I need to start attacking more in order to create these positions that I know I can win. And that's hard to do, especially when you're training in the gym with dudes who just beat the brakes off of you. Even when they're being nice, I'm still in that position where I need to go, but I know if I fuck up here, I'm gonna get thrown. I know if I get fucked up here, I'm gonna throw. And that's the ego part that you have to let go, that I need to let go. I don't want to get thrown. And again, it's 50% the fear of getting thrown. I'm not really afraid to get thrown. I'm afraid for my knees mostly. But getting thrown, it is what it is. You get the wind knocked out of you, you fucking get thrown on your head, you think you'll be all right. But it's the fear of getting thrown, the fear of being out of position, the fear of this that you have to kind of get over in order to be a good competitor. I was talking with my sensei about that today on the way home. He was telling me in his competition days, he would throw 10 things to get into a position to throw, and that's how you win in judo. Like today I got hit with some bullshit. I don't know where I was. I just was rambling, but my camera overheated. But I'm back now, and I think the overall theme should be attack more, put yourself in more situations where you're uncomfortable, and learn how to get out of them. I think that's the theme. That's all I got.